All right, welcome back to the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. We are now only 56 days away from kickoff of the NFL season. We are back with another division as a part of our NFL division series here. For today's division, we will be breaking down the AFC East, including the Jets, Patriots, Bills, and the Dolphins. For each team, we'll do some cap or no cap, some questions for each team, our bold takes, our favorite targets, and a couple of questions submitted from you guys on Twitter. Before we get started, though, we do have a pretty interesting poll going on right now on Twitter. So currently, it has 138 votes, and the poll is: which running back of these guys would you feel most comfortable with as your RB2 in PPR? David Montgomery, Kareem Hunt, Josh Jacobs, and Chris Carson. I just wanted to get your guys' take on this as well.
Yeah, I was stumped when I read that. I think it's close. I think it's closest between David Montgomery and Chris Carson. And I voted for David Montgomery just because his the volume that he will get. I think Cohen's still in a boot, but
Yeah, I think I read that he had a setback.
but then again, Chris Carson, like he's a beast, and they use him as a workhorse running back. He just has to stay healthy. But I just think David Montgomery's pass catching ability is why I picked him as a good RB2.
Yeah, I agree. I was torn between the two as well, David Montgomery as well as Chris Carson, but I really like David Montgomery of the two as well with UQ there. But the only thing that makes me a little bit nervous is they added Damian Williams. Um, Damian Williams could get some of that volume even if Tariq Cohen ends up sitting out. So that would be the only thing that would make me a little nervous. I think Chris Carson has the clearest path to like the most volume, but obviously the injury history scares you there for sure.
And fumble history.
Yeah, that too.
I think I'm the only one in the world that took Kareem Hunt, but I don't know why. We talked about the running back situation there. I don't know. I like him. I like his pass catching, his big playmaking. We talked about the running backs carrying that team. I don't know. I got a feeling.
I got a feeling.
That's all you need sometimes.
Yeah, that's all you need. I like Kareem Hunt also. The only thing obviously is he's the one with the least work like cut out for him already.
Which is fine,
but yeah, obviously he's got a clear path to playing time. If Nick Chubb goes down, he'll be the best of those guys, no doubt.
So,
all right. Well, let's get into the AFC East. Let's get it rolling with the New York Jets. This one shouldn't be
best team in the league.
Yeah, best team in the league. It's like
said no one.
Yeah,
ever reigning champs.
Anyways, let's get into some cap or no cap. We'll start off here. This is finally the year we will get to see what Chris Herndon is made of, and he will finish as a top 12 tight end. Cap or no cap?
Biggest cap ever.
Unfortunately,
biggest cap ever.
I felt like I was high on him coming into the draft last year because I knew he had potential. But then again, he's on the Jets. He's played every game other than the year before. The last year, I think he may have been injured. But tight ends are QB's best friends. Well, like rookie QB. So Zach Wilson could look for him a lot. I think top 12 is too high though.
That's steep.
Definitely
steep.
His
Especially
first
for someone.
The 2 years.
Go ahead, you go first.
Okay, I'm just saying the 2 years that he played all 16 games, he had 39 catches and 31 catches.
Yeah, it wasn't that impressive either way. I looked at that.
Yeah, he hasn't had the track record. I was just going to say his ADP is currently like tight end 34. So he's basically going for free in drafts. So if you want to take a flyer on him, go ahead. But yeah, I don't think that season is ever coming. Chris Herndon was always a hype train that never arrived.
You can get Adam Shaheen before him?
Maybe. I wouldn't even be shocked.
I'm surprised people are ranking all the tight ends like that. It's kind of irrelevant after
like 20. No, I don't think you can get Adam Shaheen before him. I mean, you probably could, but I don't see Adam Shaheen in any ADP. I don't know if he's still all EQ. That's any random name to pull out of your hat. Anyways, he does play for the Dolphins, apparently.
And there's other guy, Dylan Smythe or something Smythe.
Yeah.
I only knew them because they would vulture touchdowns from Gesicki. And they were all like big white guys, so you couldn't really tell the difference until the guy said the name.
You love Gesicki.
All right, let's get into the next one here. Move on from tight end talk and get to quarterback. cap or no cap, Zach Wilson is essentially undraftable in redraft leagues for 2021.
Unless you're
Nope.
Gator.
Yeah.
Cat.
Cap. Gator.
Cap.
Or wait. No,
Read it.
no cap, no cap.
I told y'all Q can't read.
Well, I can't read.
Damn.
I don't know. The rookie QB in that Jets offense just scares the living hell out of me, honestly. I
Yeah,
don't
that
think
team's
he
a mess.
has I don't think he has the right weapons around him to really succeed his first year in the league. I mean, the Jets have always been a dumpster fire ever since we've been watching them. So I just don't see a rookie quarterback coming into that offense and taking over and like actually producing to a good level to own them in fantasy.
It's funny you say that though about the weapons because I actually think he has better weapons than Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence will finish better because he's the better quarterback, but I would take Trevor Lawrence's weapons.
I don't
His
know.
wide
I
rec-
like that
I think I
Jaguars
like Lawrence's
offense.
weapons.
Yeah.
It's close though. You can make the argument. I like DJ Chark a little bit more. I like
Laviska
Laviska
Shenault,
Shenault.
Who's their tight
James
end?
Robinson, Travis Etienne.
Yeah, they might not have a good tight end, but I mean, Chris
Is
They
it,
don't need
Jones
a
isn't
tight
really.
end.
Is it
Yeah,
Tyler
right.
Eifert?
Exactly.
Is it Eifert?
It's Tebow, dude. Come on.
Oh my god.
The greatest tight end of all time.
That's crazy.
Bro.
Yeah, I don't even think he's their starting tight end, but
Oh my God, it's funny.
Chris Manhurts. Yeah, dude. I don't know, but I like Marvin
Chris
Jones, DJ Chark, and
Manhurts.
Chenault more for sure.
Easily.
Especially
And
with
their
Marvin
running
Jones.
game is much better as well. So
Oh yeah,
that takes a lot of pressure off the quarterback.
but yeah, I think I'm also going to just agree. No cap. Zach Wilson, first year quarterback with a first year head coach. If you have a defense playing against the Jets, start them.
They do have the sixth easiest. No, they have a top 5 easiest schedule this year. So maybe
Yeah.
if you want to look at a bright side of the Jets offense on fantasy,
Yeah,
Well,
maybe.
fantasy.
They're
Maybe.
going to need all the help they can get.
No doubt. All right. Last one here. Cap or no cap, with all of the unknowns surrounding the Jets, every single player on this team has a lot of risk involved in drafting them.
No cap.
cap.
That's easy.
Definitely.
Who's like a definite like okay, I'll get not even their defense. Garbage.
Maybe
Yeah.
the kicker. Maybe they'll kick a lot.
Who's their kicker? Nick Folk?
I don't know, dude.
It
I
just
I want
sounds
to
like
say
their
Sam.
punter is Braden
I want
Man.
to say Sam Ficken.
Oh yeah,
but
it is
I
Ficken. It's Ficken. It's
Is it?
It's Ficken.
Yeah, Sam Ficken.
Knew it. I Ficken knew it.
The Jets in general are going to be
Oh,
scary. But let's move on to some questions here. What is the ceiling for Corey Davis this year? Will he ever be that top 10 wide receiver he was drafted to be?
Nah. Especially now that he's on the Jets, that I feel like that just made his situation worse. Because I mean, he did have a few bright spots in Tennessee, but with the rookie quarterback and the rookie head coach, like you said, I just don't see that. I don't know.
I don't know.
Hell no.
I have
Hell
hopes
no.
for him. His production has gone up since he's started playing. He almost had his first 1,000-yard season last year. Maybe it resets because he's now on the Jets, but I actually think that being on the Jets helps him being their best receiver and someone that Zach Wilson will definitely look to. I think he's more talented. That's why I'm saying that the Jets have a better wide receiver core than the Jaguars. I think Corey Davis is better than all of the guys that are on the Jaguars. So him alone, he could be like a star on that team.
Big Corey Davis guy here. Q for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think he's got a pretty decent ceiling. I think at best he's just going to be a flex. They're going to have to throw a ton, so he could end up just being a volume guy. But they also still have some mouths to feed with Crowder, Mims, and they also drafted Elijah Moore. So
But we
I think his
saw
ceiling is like top 40-ish.
I got him at 35.
Top 30. I think I have him ranked lower than that.
No, not ranked. I'm just that's the
Oh, like
ceiling.
a
I think
ceiling.
35.
we saw
I
Jameson
like him
Crowder
as
the
the
first
best out of
half.
those guys.
Jameson Crowder the first half before like the bye and him getting injured. He was like a pretty good receiver because I guess you could say he was the only guy before Flacco came in and made Mims like a MVP
Yeah.
at the
All right.
end.
Moving on to running backs here. What running backs, if any, are you interested in targeting here? They have
No.
Tevin Coleman, Ty Johnson, Michael Carter, the rookie, or LaMichael P. Ryan.
I'm not a
None.
big Tevin Coleman guy, but not in this offense, not on this. There's nobody.
He's getting old, man. I feel like Tev's old.
Yeah,
Can't
and
be
he's
that
always
old,
hurt. He's always
but
hurt.
he is old for a running back for sure.
Once you
Yeah.
hit like that 28, 29 mark as a running back, it starts to get a little scary. That's when your body starts to catch up with you.
And in real
Yeah.
life, you're not even that old.
You're not
even
old
that
at all.
Yeah, for me, most upside would be Michael Carter, but other than that, I'm pretty much avoiding them.
Agreed.
Do you have any interest at all in Jamison Crowder or Denzel Mims with Corey Davis possibly garnering the most attention from corners?
Love
I'll
me
take
some
Crowder.
Jamison Crowder.
Yeah.
He was nice last year for a little bit. I remember
Yeah,
I was trying to snag him off Richie for a couple weeks.
Very little bit. After week 10, he only had one game over 10 points, and the rest were all. He had the rest of like five of the 7 remaining games. He had 5 games where they had less than 7 points. So he had one game for like 16, and the rest were
That's
all.
that Jets offense for you, though. You can't really expect too much out of them.
And also,
Yeah.
fuck Braxton Berrios, fucking scumbag.
What
I
the?
was waiting for you to say
Who
his name.
started him one
Yeah,
week
'cause-
in his flex and got a donut, I think.
See, I had a feeling. And a Thursday night ruined my Thursday night. Melvin
Bad
Gordon had
feeling.
like 28 points against Gator, of all people.
Bad feeling, Q.
Bad Joe.
Yeah, I think all these guys are kind of dart throw flex plays. So I think they all have a little bit of upside, including Elijah Moore. They drafted him at the top of the second round. He also could be worth a late round flyer. What do you guys think?
Sure, but nothing about this team is popping a blood vessel
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Nothing's really too appetizing.
Yeah, maybe one guy emerges as the go-to guy. I think Corey Davis is most likely to be that guy. But at the end of the day, this offense is going to be throwing a lot, but they're also going to be struggling to score. So we shall see. All right, let's get into our bold takes, favorite targets. Q, start us off. What do you got?
I pretty much hinted at it earlier. Corey Davis, I'm a fan of him. I think he finished top 25. As I said, he's been increasing in his production since he's been in the league. He's currently being drafted as the 50th best wide receiver, so it would be a huge leap for him to somehow reach top 25. But I think Zach Wilson needing a somewhat veteran guy to trust and rely on, throw the ball quickly to. I think he has the most talent on the team, so I think there's hope.
Yeah, I respect it. I'm just going to piggyback off you real quick here. I agree. Corey Davis, I don't think he's going to be top 25. I think there's a chance he could get there. But he's definitely my favorite target out of their wide receivers. That's what I'm going to say. His ADP is wide receiver 54. So he's being drafted super late as a projected number 1 wide receiver on a team. So he has to be my target here. Jets are going to be down a lot. They're going to have to pass a lot. There's obviously a lot of mouths to feed, like we mentioned. So we'll see how that pans out. But I think Corey Davis is the one I'm targeting late as like my wide receiver 5 to throw on my bench and play in on bye weeks. But moving on to T-Gods, what do you got here?
Okay. I have no Jets player will finish inside of the top 30 this year. Last year, they had, well, I know some of these players aren't with the team anymore, but we're just going to switch out players in their positions. So the quarterback finished number 32. Their running back, number 48. Jamison Crowder finished 38. Their kicker, Sam Ficken, finished 31.
Oh my god!
And the only player, I guess you can consider it, to finish in the top 30 was their defense at 25.
Wow.
And that's probably because of their special teams. They had like a good 1 week or something.
Yeah,
0-17 T-Gods? Is that what you're sensing?
easily.
I don't think they can go 0-17.
Easily. Why not?
I think they
'Cause
scoop 2 wins.
A team always steals a game unless you're the Browns.
Not always.
Yeah, there's always a couple. Might be the Lions this year, honestly, but we'll get into them soon.
Do they play each
Matt.
other? That'd be good. Good game.
Yeah, that would be a good game.
Please end in a tie.
Horrible. It's probably going to be a Thursday night game, knowing the NFL schedule.
Oh my
Color
dude, definitely.
rush.
All right, Matt, finish us off here for the Jets. Let's move on.
All right. My target for the Jets, although there isn't many, especially in dynasty leagues, is Michael Carter. In his senior season with North Carolina, they play in the ACC, so I'm not really sure how good the defenses are in that conference.
Clemson.
But
Hit or miss.
they're buns, are they?
No, he said Clemson.
Oh, well, regardless, he finished with over 1,200 rushing yards. He had just about 300 receiving yards. He was averaging 8 yards a carry, which is not bad at all. So, I mean, I think that he's going to be a bright spot in this offense, especially for years to come. The other running backs are so old. They've had the injury history like Ty Johnson really didn't show us much on the Lions. LaMichael Pirine never did anything for the Jets.
That O-line is rough, dude.
Or anyone.
It is, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could just find a way to get him going, but I definitely like his young talent. I think he's going to be good.
Yeah, I like Michael Carter as the best out of those backs as well. I would agree. So we shall see what goes on with the Jets. Let's move on to a bit of a more interesting competitive team, I guess you could say, the Miami Dolphins. So again, we'll start with some cap or no cap. Of all projected starting quarterbacks this year, Tua is the quarterback with the largest range of outcomes, meaning he could be essentially the worst quarterback in the league or possibly top 5. Cap or no cap?
No cap, dude.
Yeah, I guess no cap. You're giving us like all this window of space to work with.
Like, is there another quarterback that you think could be even like a bigger range of outcomes?
Yeah,
like
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to finish as low. He runs more.
Yeah, but the Dolphins have such a good team. They could have such a good team. I think the quarterback is the hole, like the hole in their offense. I think that he could finish top 5 if he utilizes the people that he has around him. But if we see more of what we saw last season, then yeah, he'll definitely be a bottom feeder.
Yeah, I think he's just got a wide range of outcomes because like he has the potential to be a top 5 quarterback, I think.
And they gave him so many more weapons.
So many weapons, dude.
Yeah, he's got a lot around him.
He's just got to make the most of it.
So we shall see. But
and what's he missing? Fuller
no
for only 1 game?
Yeah, Fuller has 1 game suspension. We'll get into that in a minute here.
I know they added Will Fuller, but that's not even the best player they added.
Ooh.
Mac Hollins.
Stop.
Stop.
I thought he had something serious to pull out of his pocket. I thought he was about to gas up Jalen Waddle.
I was like trying to think of who's on the Dolphins.
That's funny.
Alan Hearns.
No way he's still there.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
And he's on the practice squad.
Yeah, probably. Or gonna get cut.
Damn.
Alan Hearns. I just don't think he makes that roster with how many wide receivers they got now. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Cap or no cap, Myles Gaskin proved he can be the clear-cut starter for the Dolphins and should be drafted as such.
No cap.
No cap, but Salvon Ahmed kind of scares me.
Yo, say his name correctly. Yo,
Salvon Ahmed.
There we go.
Salvon Ahmed. Sorry.
I had to look up how to pronounce it to make sure I didn't mess it up again like last year.
Well, I apologize.
I'm with you, Matt. I'm going to say cap as well. I do think Gaskin had a pretty solid season, but I am just a little bit nervous about the depth there.
I don't know. He was out for an injury or COVID. It was one of them. May have been injury. And that's what Ahmed came in. Gaskin did have no games with 100 yards rushing, but he does have the pass catching ability. He's had like 4 or 5. He has had plenty of games where he had at least 4 or 5 receptions in a game. So that like kind of makes up for it if you can't get the 100 yards. I think he would have finished higher if he would have played the whole season.
Yeah, he played 11 games and still finished RB26.
Yeah,
he'll
be
he's good.
Next Jay Ajayi.
I believe in him. You guys can sleep.
I like Gaskin.
Shall see. Let's talk about Gaskin a little bit more in a bit. But last one here for cap or no cap. Even with the addition of Will Fuller, Devontae Parker should still be considered the best fantasy wide receiver on this team.
Bad question. Bad question.
I don't think he should be.
I
mean, Will Fuller proved last year, although he did have Deshaun Watson instead of Tua, that he could be an elite wide receiver. Not even just good. He was elite. I think
he on drugs.
What was it, like 8 touchdowns in 5 weeks or something? I don't know. It was something crazy. But he was just going wild for a little bit there. And then, like you said, he got caught up with the performance-enhancing drugs and stuff, and that kind of derailed him a bit. But I like him coming back this year.
Is that why he was so good, though?
Nah, he was just that good.
I just think that Fuller is definitely the better receiver, but Parker is going to be the volume guy. I think I wish I had written down the stat, but like there was something where when Tua played, like most of his targets were going to Devontae Parker.
He was force feeding them.
Yeah, I don't think they were really getting to him though. But
they also really didn't have anyone else at that time.
Exactly.
I think their second wide receiver was like Jakeem Grant.
Preston Williams.
Yeah, he was hurt for a while though last year too. So, but yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. I would say no cap. I still think Will Fuller's probably got the most potential to be the best wide receiver on this team. But I mean, I want to say cap because I'm saying Will
Cat.
Fuller.
I was about to say.
But I do like Devontae Parker though too. So I'm a little bit torn. So moving on to the next question here, kind of ties right in. Which of these wide receivers is the better value? Fuller at wide receiver 35 or Parker at wide receiver 48?
Fuller's going to be a steal. He's going to be a steal.
Yeah,
Fuller is?
I got to agree.
I think I'm taking Parker.
Not that he's going to
value.
be a steal, but at the value, it is close. But I'd still like Fuller a lot more on that offense than I do
ceiling.
Devontae Parker.
His ceiling's
Yeah,
way
his
higher.
potential
Than
is-
I think he
Pete
could
Parker.
finish top 20.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
game
I don't
absence
hate it.
won't
I mean,
make
he was
it.
like top 10 last year until everything
Yep.
happened. So
I don't
D
hate
Park
it.
only has one season with more than 63 catches.
was that the season before last?
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I think that's
yeah.
why we came in so hyped this year. Well, last year. With
A lot of
D-Park.
people had him pretty high. It's like
I'm a
wide
big
receiver
fan of him
option.
though, so I'm not going to hate on him too much.
No, I'm not
Um,
hating on him. Definitely not.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I like both. I think both are pretty good options. They also have Jalen Waddle. Are you planning on drafting him? His current ADP is ahead of Devontae Parker at wide receiver 45.
That's wild.
No shot.
I think he's out of the four like top name rookie wide receivers. I think he's the fourth best. Devontae Smith. I rank him in drafting in this order: Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, because of all the people that are around Jamar Chase as well. Elijah Moore, and then Waddle.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely hear where you're coming from. I kind of like Jalen Waddle. I'm just torn of if he's got the potential to kind of be like that Tyreek in this offense, but he's also could end up just being the gadget guy like a Tavon Austin. So
Yeah, that'd be.
I kind of want to see how they use him before going all in. But for Dynasty, for sure, he's the most interesting one here out of the bunch.
Drafting him can't hurt you if you draft him with really no expectations because he's honestly a dart throw, but that risk could definitely pay off for you.
Yeah, no doubt. We did have a question from Twitter at geek_mill. Our guy Jeff has been showing us some love on Twitter. He asked who the volume hog is going to be in Miami. Between Parker, Waddle, Gaskin, Gesicki,
Devontae
as
Parker.
well as Fuller.
Yeah, we kind of hit on it.
Which
Definitely
one you
going to
think's
be D Park.
the major volume target?
He was getting force fed last year, so I mean, I don't really see much changing to his second year and Will Fuller's first year being on the team and the rookie Waddle. I think he's just gonna still try and stick with Devontae Parker for the most part.
And maybe Gesicki.
Yeah, I
Gesicki
think
had flashes.
I think it's between Parker and Fuller. We saw Fuller get force fed by Watson, so that could easily translate over here. It kind of depends on how they want to run their offense. And I think they're more of a defensive minded team and then kind of want to just control the game in that way. But I would probably lean Parker as well with you guys. I think he's going to get a little bit more target share. That's why I kind of like his value, but Will Fuller obviously has the most upside.
Yep.
All right. Shifting the focus back to Tua. Was last year's inconsistency in this offense just rookie nerves, or are you nervous about Tua heading into this year?
I actually read something that was Devontae Parker. There was like reports of him Tua like changed his mechanics, so maybe he just was bad last year. I'll give him the benefit of doubt, saying that there was like rookie woes, but I think it won't take too far into the season to really see if he's cut out for this.
Yeah, and they added a lot of weapons. I mean, I'll give him another shot.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't draft him, but
Yeah,
as a quarterback leading an NFL team, I'll give him another shot. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Give him another shot. Definitely nervous, but roll him back out there, see what he's got this year with more weapons around him.
I would say if Ryan Fitzpatrick was on this team with who they've added, I'd be very high on Ryan Fitzpatrick and all these players. I think I'd be extremely high because he fed as maybe he threw a million interceptions
5
a game.
interceptions a game.
Yeah, 5. We'll give him 5. He did hit his targets and score a lot of points at some points within the last season or in his whole 20,000 year career. I think he's on team 32 now.
He might be. But yeah, let's get into the last question for the Dolphins. They added Malcolm Brown and still have Savon Ahmed rostered. Are you worried about Myles Gaskin losing touches?
Losing touches. Yes.
Yeah.
But
I think he starts the season as a starter, but yeah, I'm definitely scared of him losing a little bit of that volume that he had last year when he was healthy.
I mean, we saw Ahmed do well when Gaskin was out, and Malcolm Brown had a couple of good games last year, but they're both going to be, I think Brown's going to be the bigger vulture because he was like the goal line guy. But he is listed as the 4th running back on the depth chart, so I don't know who's ahead of him. So you might
They
need to be
also
worried
have,
about whoever number 3 is.
Jared Dokes. They got a rookie
I don't know who
undrafted.
Don't worry about Jared Dokes.
He might not
He's
even
an
make the
undrafted rookie.
team.
He might be all right, but yeah, he definitely has to earn his roster spot before.
Yeah, they'll definitely all have an impact. I think I'd rank them Ahmed, then Malcolm Brown in order of worries.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would agree with that. All right, let's get into our bold takes and favorite targets. Q, start us off. What do you got?
I don't know his first name, but his last name he's like Fabio Van Ginkel on the Dolphins special team defense. He's gonna lead the Dolphins defense to be top 5 in fantasy. Last year they finished 8. Some other website they finished 4th. I don't know what they were going off of, but they were a top 8 defense and they were barely owned. They brought back many of their key pieces and then drafted a lot of young guys. So I think that'll help them maybe stay within the top 5 or top 8, but top 5 for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think they have the potential to be there. Just keep an eye on Xavier Howard. I think within the last few hours here, well, I guess yesterday for everyone watching, but Xavier Howard the trade talks are heating up. He's unhappy with his contract situation, so he might be on the way out.
Bring him to Philly.
But if he stays, for sure, even without him, they're still a really solid unit.
And they brought back Jakeem Grant on the special teams. He's a pretty quick dude.
You love Jakeem Grant.
No, Sean brought him up the first time.
Yeah, I did. All right. Anyways,
we love him.
Give us what you got.
I'm sure everybody knows what's coming. Will Fuller, he's the receiver you want to own in this offense. I mean, he probably will miss some games, so make sure you get like a decent backup. but it only takes like one play for him to go from like a 4-point game to like a 20-point game. Like his chance of like breaking out for a big play is like insane. He might have like the highest ever. Like, bro, he's so good. I don't care what anybody says. He played 3 less games last year than D Park and still finished 9 spots above him. I know he had a different quarterback, but it's just showing his potential.
Yeah, no doubt. His ceiling is definitely the highest out of probably anyone in this offense. I would agree. All right, Matt, what do you got for us here?
All right, man. I'm going to go to the quarterback position. And before I even start, I dare someone to say Tua Tagovailoa's full first name.
Let me look it up.
I'll give you a quick second to look it up. But while you're looking it up, I'm going to just say I think he finishes in the top 15 like we touched on a little bit previously. They added all these new weapons for him. They got the rookie Jalen Waddle. They brought in Will Fuller, T-God's guy. So I think that helps him tremendously. I think Gaskin being back helps him a lot. I know that their offensive line is probably the worst in the league, but I mean, if they get a little bit of that run game going and they give Tua the opportunity to just throw the ball downfield, he's going to excel. So I honestly like Tua a lot. His legs help him a lot, get out of trouble. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him creep up into that top 15 by the end of the year.
Yeah, we always preach that running back or quarterbacks that can run the ball are very valuable. So he didn't do that much the few games he played last year, but if he can step that up, I can see top 15.
He can use him if he needs to.
All right, I'll finish off the Dolphins here. First one. I'm just gonna say Myles Gaskin finishes outside the top 25 running backs. I think I have him ranked at 25. But he's going to be playing behind arguably the worst offensive line in football. With a young, inexperienced quarterback who we saw struggle last year, and they added a bunch of weapons for him to try and air it out. He also had fewer receptions last year when Tua played quarterback compared to when Ryan Fitzpatrick was playing. He caught a few more passes out of the backfield. So I'm just a bit nervous about locking him in as my RB2. I don't want to say I hate Myles Gaskin because I do like his talent, and I do think he's the most talented back in this backfield. But they still have Ahmed. They did sign Malcolm Brown. They have Jared Dokes, as I already mentioned. So they have
Please
guys
don't
that are
bring
going
him
to be. He's an undrafted rookie. You've seen undrafted rookies come out of nowhere.
Would you
every
bet the
single year.
over one that we'd speak about him again this season?
Yeah.
That
We'd probably
there'll be
mention
a
him again.
reason to speak about him this, not just bring him up so you could take the
So I
over.
can mention Jared Dokes. I don't think I'm gonna want to go out of my way to mention him, but yeah, I just think I don't want to get too high and like secure him as my this is my RB2. I think he's like right on the cusp of like being in that RB2 territory. I'd rather take the guys we were mentioning earlier over him. All right. Let's get into today's sponsor. As always, the Thrive Fantasy app for iOS and Android. Thrive Fantasy app is a daily fantasy sports app for player props, as well as betting on games and whatnot. We do have the big golf tournament coming up this weekend. Still got baseball going on, so there's still stuff going on, the NBA finals as well. So if you download the Thrive Fantasy app today, use our promo code SUPERFB. That is SUPERFB. You deposit $20 or more, you will receive an instant $50 bonus. At least download the app, go check it out, see what they got on there and see if anything's worth doing. And then use our code, get some extra money, and make yourself some more money.
This time next week, we could be advertising something that the fans may be even more interested in.
Ooh, no spoils, no spoils.
No
Yeah,
spoilers.
on the low.
And I'm not even, I take that back. Not may, they will be more interested in this.
They're gonna love it.
Well, don't hate on Thrive Fantasy. They got our back.
Yeah.
We love Thrive Fantasy. Love them.
Love them. All right, let's get into the New England Patriots. Usually every year we start talking about the Patriots. It's like, all right, Tom Brady, this team's going to be good. What wide receiver do we want? Edelman. Times have changed.
Yeah, name another one after Edelman that we've said we've wanted.
Over the past few years?
Yeah.
Off the top of the dome, I can't even remember, dude. Who did they have? I mean, you wanted to kill Harry for sure.
Yeah,
James White.
Like, realistically,
James White.
what wide receiver did you want on the Patriots besides Edelman?
Gronk
Gronk.
when he was there.
Not Gronk, because he's not a wide receiver.
Kendall Wright. That was my
Stop.
guy.
Kendall Wright, he was
Ranch.
good.
I always wanted him to get pretty
Randy
good.
Moss.
Yeah, I meant just like their offense.
Chris Hogan
was way more exciting.
Hoagie was nice for a little bit.
Chris Hogan was pretty.
He was
decent.
solid.
All right,
You were
let's get into
small
some
and you were Caucasian. You were good on the Patriots.
Danny Amendola.
Oh yeah,
Danny
him too.
Amendola. Didn't they have Wes Welker?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had Wes Welker ages ago. All right, cap or no cap? We'll start with QB1. Cap or no cap, Cam Newton will not finish the season as the starting quarterback for the Patriots. Shout out to Evil Empire FF, kind of reworked his question. He asked, does Mac Jones get a start this season? So will Cam Newton finish the season as a starting quarterback? Cap or no cap?
No, he's
not finishing the season.
No cap.
and I think the offense will significantly improve after that.
Yes, I agree. I agree very much.
Significantly with
Yes.
Mac Jones. I'm going to take the other side here. I'm going to say cap. I think Bill Belichick just rolls with Cam Newton all season. I think he plays well enough to win them a couple games. They're not playing in the toughest division. They do get the Jets a couple times here. So the Dolphins are, I think they could split that series. Obviously, the Bills are kind of the king right now of this division. So, but I think Cam Newton could string together a couple good games to kind of earn himself a starting job throughout the season.
Yeah,
They're
maybe run for like 3 touchdowns, throw 2 interceptions,
Yeah,
They're another
I think
team-
They're building the offense around him as we speak because he's still planned to be their QB1. So we shall see.
They have a top 5 easiest schedule as well this year. So for what it's worth, I
They
still
gave the worst division the easiest schedule.
Right.
we have the Eagles have the easiest schedule.
Well, they also play the
Well,
teams in their division that were
we
pretty good
earned
last
that.
year. So, but yeah, I mean, I can definitely see him getting benched. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility, but I think he can make it through another season. And I
And I
think
hope-
it might be his last though.
I hope Mac Jones wears 50 during the game because that's what he's wearing in training camp right now.
That's
Is that even
number.
like a legal quarterback
I don't
number?
even know if
I
that's
know
a
they had
legal
number
quarterback.
changes, but
I don't know.
there's
he's
no
wearing-
way a quarterback can be 50.
Bill Belichick has him wearing number 50. And they said it might be just like a rookie thing. He has to
Well,
earn
no,
his-
any rookie has to wear 50 until they earn their number.
I don't know. I
they
hope he
said.
stays number 50. he looks like he could be a 50.
Mike Vrabel.
It's a weird number. All right. Next one here with N'Keal Harry asking for a trade. That makes Nelson Aguilar the clear-cut number 1 wide receiver, and he should be treated as such moving forward. Cap or no cap?
What do you
What do
mean,
you mean by
treated as such?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like treated as the number one wide receiver. Like you should be drafting him.
Oh
as
yeah,
that.
I think N'Keal Harry or no, you're treating him like that.
Yeah. I mean, I have to agree, but I don't think Aguilar is cut out to be a wide receiver 1, which
Yeah,
kind of
that's why I wanna
scares
say
me.
Cap.
You're kind of just forced to.
Yeah.
And it's more on, for me, it's more on Cam that's gonna make him not be the number 1 receiver on this team because he can't throw the ball. A lot of Aguilar's big games last year came off like a bomb from Derek Carr for a touchdown. And he tied his career high in touchdowns last year. The last time he scored 8 touchdowns was the Super Bowl year.
He
You
flopped
remember that,
next
T
year.
Gods?
But I don't think there's any part of Cam because Cam is old. He has an old shoulder. I don't think he's not getting anything past 10 yards. It's gonna be the tight end's destiny in this offense.
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from. I mean, I think tight ends are definitely going to be the guys, but I'm going to say Cap. I think the other guys may end up just overtaking that role. I don't think he's locked in as the number 1. Jacoby Myers was pretty good last year for a few weeks here and there, as well as they added Kendrick Bourne. See what he's got.
They spent all this fucking money, and all they got was Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar on offense along, and then they got 2 guys who play the same position, and they're not even that good.
Yeah, Patriots are. I don't know what they're building, but they're building something. They're doing something over there. Bill Belichick is trying
They're just
to.
building.
Tight end factory.
He's trying to see what he can do after post Brady. All right, last cap or no cap. Despite the inconsistency of Patriots RBs in the past under Belichick, Damian Harris should still be considered a top 30 running back for 2021.
No cap. I'll
He
be
was
the
such a
first to
roller
say it.
coaster. He was such a roller coaster last
He
year.
doesn't get the opportunity that he should. If they fed him the way that they should feed him, if he got 20 to 25 touches a game, he would produce. I promise you.
I believe you.
I believe you too.
But Cam likes to run it himself. He likes to turn the ball over.
It's all right. He's not
Eh.
going to be finishing the season. It's okay.
Yeah.
T Gods, I hope you're right, man, because I just want everyone else's potential to reach their point, and Cam just pulls them back.
Pulls him down with him. I have Damian Harris at 34, so I have to say cap. But I do think he could easily be a top 30 running back. Reports that are coming out right now sound like he's supposed to be the clear-cut number 1, but I can't trust anything until I see it with my eyes.
Yeah,
Bill Belichick and running backs.
He should be. I mean, who's he gonna lose to? James White? He's like
Sony
40.
Michel,
Old.
they still have. So I don't know. I think he's
Rex,
clear.
do they still have Rex Burkhead?
No, they don't.
Thank God.
They have Ramondre Stevenson.
I remember there was one
Ooh.
game last season he scored like 3 touchdowns.
Bro, that was
like,
against
are you
me.
fucking
That was
kidding me?
against me.
Yeah. Kind of moved to that question. I guess we could move right on. Are there any Patriots running backs worth a look after Damian Harris, James White, Ramondre Stevenson, Sony Michel? I don't think so, personally.
If your team is
Nah.
just that, yeah. I was gonna say James White because he's PPR guy, but it's just like
Even with
Not
Kendrick
even worth
Bourne, the
it.
running
Yeah,
back.
it's not even. It's
He
literally
might
not
see
even
like
worth it.
10 snaps a game.
I'd rather start Darren Sproles.
Would you rather start one of the Jets running backs?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Ty Johnson.
okay.
I'd start him over
Michael
James
Carter.
White.
Ty Johnson.
That's just the
Ugh.
first name that came to my head.
Maybe Tevin Coleman.
I'm not starting
Obviously,
Tev.
Michael Carter.
I wouldn't start Tev in a 32-team league.
That's
Well, the
rude.
Jets might be.
Yeah, they might be. Ramondre Stevenson, interesting. I think he's a rookie, so you'll never know with Bill Belichick. He'll throw out rookies. What was Jonas Gray had 4 touchdowns in a game.
Oh yeah, never heard
as a
from him
rookie,
again.
and then never heard from him again. So you never know. Ramondre Stevenson 4 touchdown game incoming this year.
Stop.
All right.
You pick.
Next question. Who is the first Patriot you would draft heading into the season?
Damian Harris.
Their defense.
Give me that.
Their defense.
Before
But-
last year, when all their defensive players opted out or had COVID, they were literally a wide receiver or positional player with the amount they were scoring. Because I think the last time they were good was Tom Brady's last year. So they have a very similar defense. I know Kyle Van Noy left the Dolphins. I don't know if he came back to the Patriots. But if so, they have a very identical defense to the year that they were that good. It's possible. And that's I think that's the safest for me because Bill Belichick he's still there. He could make the defense work at least.
Yeah, I like their defense. They added some pieces too, Jalen Mills and whatnot.
Oh right, Jalen Mills.
But They also
You mean that piece of burnt toast? He's gonna make them good.
Dude, come on. You didn't have to say it. We were all thinking it.
yeah,
You
but he
didn't have
was
to
like
say it.
supposed to be CB1 in Philly. Now, obviously, he's not going to be there. Probably CB3.
He couldn't even be a slot corner in Philly.
And yeah, Van Noy's back on the Patriots. Took a year.
Yeah, I know. I do like. I think their defense is pretty good, but I'm not drafting their defense till the last round. So Damian Harris for me.
Oh, that's just that. What's that say about the rest of their team?
I'm drafting.
You're not
Damian
drafting
Harris.
any of them.
Drafting Damian Harris.
Damian
I'm
Harris,
drafting
yeah,
probably both of
definitely.
their tight ends ahead of that.
Damian
too.
Harris.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, moving on to their tight ends. Which one do you think will be more successful, Jonnu Smith or Hunter Henry?
Cam Newton.
Hunter
Cam Newton, tight
Henry.
end.
Yeah, I think it's Hunter Henry. Jonnu Smith came into the season last year with the same amount of hype as Noah Fant, and both
He lived up to
disappeared.
it for like the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
The first
He was
3
elite.
weeks he was great.
Just
I
like Noah
remember
Fant.
everyone was sending trades for him. Everybody wanted him, and then he like literally just fell right off a cliff.
Yeah, I was hyped.
I don't
about
think
him.
he had one good game after that.
Unfortunately, Hunter Henry wasn't any better than Jonnu Smith last year, but we saw Cam with Greg Olson, same build, not the white part, but fast, athletic tight end that could catch the ball. Cam, I guess he's not. Cam pretty much is the deciding factor for all these players. So I'm just gonna bring him up for every time we bring someone else up, even the running backs, because Cam's just gonna steal carries.
But we've
So
seen Cam
Damian
be-
Harris, hand me the ball off.
Well, yeah, he's definitely going to be the tight end.
Wildcat.
I mean, touchdown vulture in the red zone. But I do think we've seen Cam throw to the tight end a lot in the past. Obviously, did not have one last year. I think Ryan Izzo was their tight end. So I think both of them are going to be utilized pretty heavily, kind of like the old Patriot style offense. But I do think Hunter Henry's the one I'd like to own. I think he might get more volume. I think he gets open in space better. Jonnu Smith's definitely going to get some touchdowns in the red zone.
Hopefully their 2 tight end set doesn't end up the same as the last 2 tight end set that was in New England.
Hunter Henry's going to be new Gronk.
So who's
What do
going to
you
be
mean?
Aaron Hernandez?
That duo ended up killer.
Wow. All right.
Sorry.
Last question here for the Patriots. If Mac Jones comes in this year as a starter, what do you think his ceiling is? Is he even worth a look?
Top 20.
I think that's his ceiling as well.
I'm not
Probably
looking
top
at him.
20.
I mean, when
don't
do you
think he's
think
worth
he
a
would
look, though.
take over as starter? Like week 5?
When's their bye?
I think as early as week 5, if like Cam is
If he comes in
tanking
anywhere
this
past
team.
week 4, I don't think he can crack that top 20.
no, I
There's
mean,
just
like,
going to be
like,
so many.
No,
not like
just,
for the season,
yeah.
like on per game basis kind of thing.
All right, well, it's
Oh,
definitely not
okay.
gonna. It's not gonna be their bye week, because their bye week is week 14.
Oh my
The last
goodness, dude.
They have the last bye week in the league.
Yeah, that's a rough bye week. Honestly, that bye week messes up a lot of teams' playoff things. Like if you do like 2-week playoffs and whatnot, there's a lot of things into a mess, I guess.
Somehow, how are they the only? This is the only team that has a bye that week.
No, there's a couple I think that have that week.
No,
I think the Buccaneers also have a bye that week or something. Like important players are going to be on a bye in week 14. But
Yeah.
so if your league still has your playoffs set with week 14 in there, get that week out of there if possible.
And their
Yes.
it's after a Thursday night football game, so they're just going to be screwed that whole next couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, Cam will have opportunity to prove himself in the first couple weeks. He's got the Dolphins and the Jets to start off the season. Saints gets a little bit tougher, but they're home. Buccaneers, obviously, Brady gets to go back to New England. That's going to be a scary game.
Sheesh.
But then he gets the Texans as well. Cowboys aren't that scary. Jets again. So it's not the
Brady
scariest
will
schedule.
throw 8 touchdowns in Foxborough.
Oh my god.
Are they in Foxborough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's throwing 8
Ooh.
touchdowns. He's breaking the record.
That would
That's
be a good
usually
game
allowed
to
to
go to.
Yeah,
I don't
that'd
even
be-
like either team.
It'd be a funny
That'd be
game to go
crazy.
to. But yeah, I would agree. I think he has a chance to at least prove himself early on. If he's struggling in those games, then it's probably going to be halfway through the season. You're going to see Mac Jones.
Do you think we see Brian Hoyer at all this year? Because he did show up last year.
No.
He came in last year.
I really hope not.
You got to think though.
That
Cam
just destroys
sucks.
that entire fantasy value.
Mac Jones sucks.
Brian
Jared
Hoyer's
Stidham.
Mac Jones is
washed.
a rookie.
Yeah, how you know, Q?
No, I'm just saying, like, if they just go down the list of who, if they suck.
I think you just keep rolling out Mac Jones even if he
Yeah.
sucks. Like
Yeah.
you
You
just
have
take
to.
the L.
Jared
Just give him
Stidham,
some experience. Stidham was terrible last year.
Brian Hoyer, the proven one.
All right. Let's get into our bold takes. Stop talking about Patriots fourth
He
string
was talking about
quarterbacks.
bald quarterbacks.
Who was the last
You-
bald guy?
Q, start us off.
Brian Hoyer.
Who was the one before that?
Fucking what's his face from the Browns?
I think that's
Oh, wait,
Brian
that was
Hoyer
Brian
also.
What just happened? Matt's brain just exploded.
I was trying to think of
did.
like just make up a name.
I
of
have at
Hoyer.
least one brain fart every pod. That was my brain fart.
That was a good one.
All right, so you guys are loving Damian Harris, or at least Sean. Sean comes to mind first, but I don't think any Patriots running back finishes top 25. And I'm just gonna. The reason is Cam. I don't think this offense is gonna be flowing any sort of right direction. So I think I'd stay away from all. Maybe
And we'll be
I mean
vulturing touchdowns.
we said that he'll be the main, he'll be RB1 on that team, and it wouldn't be a surprise either because that's what we've seen.
Can I play Cam at running back? I wish.
That was like Taysom Hill at tight end last year.
That was so weird.
I hated that.
Yeah. All right, you guys, what do you got?
Okay. I hate Cam Newton. I think he's gonna
Very
finish.
bold.
He's gonna finish quarterback 32 or lower. Okay, so he's 32 years old. He's getting up there. Not super old, but he's getting up there.
For a running quarterback too.
Let's see. Last year, he had 242 completions. That's the fewest of his career. He had 2,657 yards, fewest of his career. 8 passing touchdowns, fewest of career. His stock
And
is
interceptions.
plummeting. I don't even want to talk about the interceptions, dude. By like a million.
He had
Stock
more rushing
going down.
touchdowns than he did passing touchdowns.
Yeah, it's over for him.
It's crazy though because
over.
they started that season almost 3-0. There was the Sunday night game against the Seahawks where he like tried to run it in on the goal line and he got stopped like a yard
Yeah,
short.
he got
Then
stuffed.
everything went downhill from there.
He lost all
Downhill quick.
confidence.
Then got COVID.
Oh,
Yeah, COVID. That was horrible. Hopefully no COVID or anything this season. Clean NFL season.
Let's go,
Don't
baby.
say that to Cole
Fans are
Beasley.
back too. I'm hyped.
All right, Matt, what do you got for us? Favorite target?
All right, man. My favorite target. This might be everyone's favorite target. Damian Harris. Q, I'm sorry. But he
He's
will
not
be the leading running back on this team. Not Cam Newton. Not any old head. Is Damian Harris. You remember last year how they, like every Patriots game, they made a big deal how they didn't have a 100-yard rusher in like so many games. Damian Harris did it 3 times. And he had 5 yards per carry. Great. Only had one fumble, which is a very good sign. So I like Damian Harris a lot coming into this year. I think he's easily going to be the starting running back to start the season. I think he just runs away with the job. Hopefully Cam Newton doesn't hog all the rushing yards and rushing touchdowns.
He might run away with the job.
He might. You never know, but I don't know. But one thing I would like to see is Damian Harris get more involved in the passing game. Because I
What
believe he
passing
only
game?
had like, yeah, that's a good point. He only had like 20 catches or something last year. It was like something minuscule. And I would just like to see him.
That much.
Yeah, I would like to see that jump up a bit, and then he'll be gold.
I think we need a Cam Newton roast where we
I'm
just have
in.
a podcast and just
I like
I'm
I like
in.
the roast podcast.
I like
there's
Cam Newton.
a lot of players being put on there.
I like Cam
Sean's not
Newton.
invited.
Yeah, I'll sit out. We can have a Dave guest host.
Ew.
All right,
Bet.
Gator.
all right. Gator. Sure. Whatever.
I
All right, I'm
love and
finishing
hate
off the
Cam.
Patriots. My favorite target's got to be Jacoby Myers. He's going wide receiver 89, 294th overall. He's literally going for free unless you're playing in like a 20-team league. So Jacoby Myers is my go-to guy here. Like I don't trust Nelson Aguilar to really be the number one and just own that role. We've seen him kind of get thrusted into that in the past, and it kind of has fizzled out pretty quickly in Philadelphia. We know that better than anyone else on this podcast for sure. But I do think Kendrick Bourne, I really don't know what he's going to be. I think he's more of like a slot guy. He's pretty much relatively unknown. N'Keal Harry is on the way out as well. Jacoby Myers had a pretty good season last year, despite Cam being quarterback, 59 catches, 729 yards. So he was pretty all right. Like he wasn't anything crazy or spectacular, but if I'm drafting a wide receiver on this team, give me Jacoby Myers for absolute free at the end of the draft.
I don't know. I don't really see what you're seeing. He had 2 games, 100+ yards, and it's just a bunch of nothing.
Bunch of
Absolutely
nothing.
Cam Newton was the quarterback, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
I mean,
he's
I
the
know
quarterback
nothing changed
now.
this year, but
He won't be
I
forever.
don't know.
I'm saying if I'm
man.
targeting
You
any
gotta-
wide receiver on this team, I'm taking Jacoby
You
Myers.
just don't
as,
want
like, a
to
flex
admit
option.
that Aguilar's solid. You didn't want to admit it last year when he was putting up big
He
numbers.
didn't.
He was
He
not
didn't.
solid last year.
He was a decent plug-in.
He was better than
flex.
Jacoby Myers last year.
Well, yeah, he had a better quarterback than Jacoby Myers.
Well,
last
now they
year.
have the same
Aguilar
quarterback,
gets Cam
so
Newton.
we can see who's actually
Jacoby Myers
better.
had
I
11
guess.
more
Bet,
catches last year.
Bet.
Gave me
I'll
Jacoby
write it down.
Myers
You
for
don't wanna-
absolute free. For the
Bet 'em.
absolute free.
Come on,
No,
I
I'm saying
got
for the value. I'm not saying against
page.
Aguilar evenly.
Bet 'em.
I need some
Q. Propose a
some on
trade.
my
or
side
pro-
here.
Not a trade. Propose a bet.
Aguilar for Myers. Send it.
Please, I will think.
All
right.
That's
enough.
I don't know.
I'm not saying he's essentially going to move above Aguilar and be that guy. I'm just also I'm
Aguilar-
saying with the
Loaded.
value, you're reaching on Aguilar.
Every
compared to,
possible stat
Like,
that you could get as a receiver, not fumbles or I guess fumbles is the only like negative one. Aguilar will finish better in.
all right, whatever. I'll agree with that. I think Jacoby Myers has more catches than Aguilar.
I got 5 on it.
All right, send it. $5.
Oh, write it in stone, T gods.
I'm
I
writing.
see you got your chisel.
I'm writing
out.
it on paper.
In ink.
The bank
In
teller's gonna
blue
come
ink.
at the end of the season after all these
Write
bets.
it in blood.
All right, let's move on to the best team in this division, the Buffalo Bills. They were really solid last year. Let's start with some cap or no cap for the Bills. First one here. If Patrick Mahomes did not exist, Josh Allen would be the unanimous QB1 heading into the season. Cap
No
or no
cap.
cap?
I got to call Cap just because of that word unanimous. I kind of like he would not be the clear-cut number one. I feel like there's people who could challenge him for it. Number one,
Aaron
Jay
Rodgers.
Herbo.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
Jay
Aaron
Herbo,
Rodgers guy.
Russ, Aaron Rodgers,
Kyler Murray.
Lamar, Kyler. I could name at least 7 of them.
I got
but-
Kyler ranked above him, so I'm also going to say cap.
Well,
Yeah.
to go off this statement or this question, I guess, I would say no cap. I think that there's a farther drop off from 2 to 3. So calling Josh Allen 2 from 2 to 3, I think it's closer from 1 to 2 than it is 2 to 3. I think the third quarterback is a lot farther down in skill than Mahomes and Josh Allen, and I guess I can go into that later. with
I
the-
get what you're saying. I don't think it's as steep as you're making it sound, though.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Justin Herbert fan. I think he will finish top 3. I just think it is unanimous. If there was no such thing as if it was Jackson Mahomes, then Josh Allen number 1.
Give me Kyler over him. Saying cap.
Yeah, you're
But
fried.
I hear we.
I
Oh,
respect
you want another
Sean's
bet?
loyalty.
You want another bet?
Too bad.
Double
Kyler
down,
Kyler
double
versus Josh
down.
Allen. What's up?
Oh my
Double
god,
down, baby.
I'd put like 1,000 on that.
I
I won't. I won't.
Please stop. Throw another 5 on it.
That's like a guarantee. Yeah.
So wait, what is it?
Kyler versus Josh Allen, more fantasy points.
All right.
Getting spicy.
I'm gonna pay out week 17.
Yeah, you're gonna pay
Give
me
me my
out, and I'm gonna get all the money. I'm gonna cash out.
Now I got 15 because me and Sean bet the same division for the AFC North.
How much bread's
Oh
on the
yeah,
line
that
here?
was a bad bet.
5.
Just 5.
Well, 5 or all right.
We're gonna say a
Okay.
little 5, like 105s from now.
Matt, we gotta make a bet, dude.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Next, cap or no cap. Unless the Bills get Zach Ertz, no tight end should be considered for this team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dawson
no cap.
Knox, who?
No cap.
But if they do get
I
Ertz,
honestly don't even think I can name another tight end on this.
I
team.
can.
Dawson Knox. You just said
Dawson
it.
not. Is it?
Besides him,
I don't know
Nate
if I can do
Becker.
another one.
Nate Becker.
Gators
watch
Cousin.
out for him. It's his year.
They also have Jacob Hollister. Wait,
Oh yeah, he's pretty. He was decent in the past couple games here or there.
decent. He was like a running back, fullback. He's like
He was a
Taysom
tight end on
Hill.
the Seahawks
just-
who had a couple games.
I thought he was a fullback. I don't know.
I think you went into Hollister.
Still
so I
irrelevant.
lost. All right. If
Rather
they
than
do
Nate
get
Becker.
Zach Ertz, where would you rank him?
Top 7.
Top whatever your little brain can think of. Whatever you want.
Yeah, probably 7. I like that spot there, Q. I think right after, right near where I would rank Goddard. But I think I take him over Fant, over Tunyon.
Yeah. Before last season, we were still putting him like top 5 at least. The season before, he was top 2 before Kittle emerged. As long as he can stay healthy, he's gonna be a target. I don't think Josh Allen was targeting the tight end much last year because he had no really reliable tight end. So Zach Ertz, it's good if he goes to the Bills, he's gonna hurt like Diggs, and
I think he just becomes the immediate number 2 option.
yeah, Cole Beasley, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Play your role, jabroni.
All right.
Until Zach Ertz learns how to break a tackle, I don't know.
Come on,
teach him in
Zach Ertz
Buffalo.
is still an elite pass catcher.
He is, but
He is getting older though.
you got to perform after the catch too.
All right. Stephon Diggs is being overdrafted at his current ADP of wide receiver 3, 14th overall. Cap or no cap?
Cat.
Yeah, cap. I thought I knew it was expected. I knew it was going to be expected because I mean, look what he did. Not expected at all last year. But I will say, if I had the choice, like I was in the position where I could have taken him, AJ Brown, Metcalf, Keenan Allen, or Michael Thomas, I'm taking Diggs.
My brain can't get behind the fact that he's like that. Stephon Diggs is like a top 3 receiver. Like
it's Josh Allen.
For some reason,
last year,
trust me,
coming into last year, Sean hated
him.
Diggs. I said, watch Diggs be better than he ever was on the Vikings. And what he did, he was better than he ever was.
I'm not hating on him. My brain just sees the name Stephon Diggs, and it can't be like, oh, he's up there with Michael Thomas.
He's elite. He's past Michael Thomas.
I'm going to say cap as well. I agree. I think he's being drafted right where he should be being drafted. So I've moved on from my Diggs beef. I did not like him on the Vikings just because that situation.
He was just inconsistent.
He was too inconsistent for me.
Him and Thielen were like, I don't know. They were so good together.
They were too good to be together.
Another. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I think he's being drafted right where he should be. It's cap. Draft him as the 3rd wide receiver off the board.
Yes, sir.
That's where I got him ranked. So got to say cap. All right, let's move on to some questions regarding the Bills. Which running back do you like more heading into 2021? Devin Singletary or Zach Moss?
Zach Moss.
Zach Moss, but I'm barely even interested in him.
Yeah, I'm taking Zach Moss also.
Devin Singletary had all the opportunity in the world this year, and he absolutely did nothing with it.
I think
not a damn thing. I think
there was some hype
had
around him
one
last
good
year
game.
too, heading into the season.
I think Josh Allen was their leading rusher.
I feel like by game 5, all the hype was turned to Zach Moss in hopes that he would just take over the starting role.
And even that was still just hopes.
He struggled a little bit. I do think he has the most chance to be that guy. So
yeah, for sure.
And
please be that guy, pal.
Don't draft Matt Breida.
Yeah, I was going to ask about Matt Breida as well. Some people like him, but I'm avoiding him.
I forgot all about Matt Breida.
He cannot stay healthy. All right. Next question here. Does Emmanuel Sanders have any value as the new addition in town for the Bills?
I love Sandy throughout his career, but I feel like he's just too old. He did make a big difference in the Saints, a lot more than I thought he would last year, especially when MT was out, because I kind of thought, what's his face? Traquan Smith was going to be that guy to step up, but it ended up being Emmanuel Sanders. But I just don't see him really having too much involvement in this offense, especially with Stephon Diggs there. If they got Zach Ertz, Cole Beasley, I mean,
it's kind of the same as the Saints. I don't know. I thought I remember differently, and he had the opportunity when Michael Thomas was out, and he wasn't doing anything. Yeah, he was. So I think
better than Traquan Smith.
Pretty good. Yeah, I would agree with that.
So I don't think he's going to be putting up crazy numbers.
Best season since like 2017 or something.
Wow. I do think he will make Cole Beasley a little less easier to play if you consider starting him. I think I would take Emmanuel Sanders over him.
I'll let Sandy sit on my bench for a little bit.
Yeah, I would say since 2018 it was his best season. 2019 he struggled a bit, so it wasn't really that big of a gap.
Where was he in 19?
The Broncos and then the Niners.
Okay, that's where it was. The Niners Super Bowl
split. So he's been kind of just mediocre. I mean, he's definitely on the downturn of his career here.
Ever since he left DT, Demaryius Thomas.
I do think he has some value. I'd take him as like a bench wide receiver, but nothing more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Last question here. Well, kind of. Is Cole Beasley being underdrafted as wide receiver 52, 137 overall?
No, I think Emmanuel Sanders put him there. Is he being drafted before Cole Beasley?
I don't think so.
Nope. Well, I don't know. He's
He's
irrelevant
finished
to me.
wide receiver 27 last year. Cole Beasley's pretty good. I think he's being a
Yeah.
little undervalued.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
a lot of hype. I remember at
agree,
one point last
T-Gods.
year, Cole Beasley, they were like putting him next to like D-Hop. They had like similar stats like for like a couple weeks.
Don't ever do that.
Emmanuel
That's a bad
Sanders
idea.
is essentially going undrafted as wide receiver 74.
Sleeping.
Fair. I mean, I like Sandy, but I mean, I'm not going to argue with someone that says that they don't want him.
Yeah. I think Beasley's just that low because he's just not sexy. He's Cole Beasley. Like
He's not.
But he's solid.
It's
He's
not a
so
sexy
solid,
name.
dude.
He
So solid.
produces.
And John Brown's
put him
gone.
in your flex. He'll get you at least 8 points, but he's not going to get you more than 14 max. So
That's fine. As long as that floor is right there, right around double digits, I'm cool with
He's got a
plugging
nice
you into
floor,
my
dude.
lineup.
Might have one of the
nicest
might have
floors
one of the best
ever.
floors of all like flex options.
He's
And
definitely
John
being
Brown's
undervalued.
gone. John
Yeah.
Brown's gone.
we did
Yeah.
have one question submitted from Twitter. At DBatteryFF asked, how do you see targets shaking out between Beasley Sanders and Gabriel Davis, who we haven't mentioned yet?
Gabriel Davis. Oh man,
Fairly
he-
even, or do you think one will establish himself as a true wide receiver too?
I think for the most part, I think it'll be fairly even.
I
But I
feel
don't know.
like Beasley might be a little ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like Gabriel Davis, I hate to say it, he might be the odd man out because Sanders is that veteran presence that they brought into the locker room. He's going to be able to help a lot of the young receivers. But I don't know. I just see, like T-God said, Beasley might be slightly over everyone else, but the targets could come out very fairly, very evenly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty close. I think Beasley's going to get the most targets out of the three just because he's going to be in the slot. He's going to get a lot of targets. But I think if I'm drafting Gabriel Davis or Emmanuel Sanders, I think I might lean Gabriel Davis just for his upside. Down the stretch last year, he had a couple good games. He also had a really good game in the playoffs where he had like 107 yards and a touchdown. He developed a pretty good connection with Josh Allen there. Obviously, Emmanuel Sanders comes in. They signed him. So, like, I don't know if they signed him to be wide receiver 4 or they signed him to just take over that role and they didn't trust Gabriel Davis yet. So could be either or. Obviously, it's yet to be seen, but Gabriel Davis has a little bit more upside than Sanders. But Beasley's going to be the guy that I would want in terms of that volume out of those three. But for our bold takes and favorite targets, Q, start us off. Always hot.
Our first cap or no cap. I think it was cap or no cap, or maybe it was question. Oh yeah. If Matt Mahomes wasn't there, would Josh Allen be the unanimous number one? Well, with Mahomes here, I think he's gonna finish this year better than Mahomes. Just based off last year's stats, it was extremely close. There were plenty of categories that Mahomes had finished under Josh Allen's: touchdown, fantasy points scored, rushing yards, and fantasy points per game. I do think Mahomes has the better supporting cast just because he has a solid tight end if Ertz doesn't go there, regardless. But Josh Allen has the rushing ability. He did only run for 100 more yards than Mahomes, but with no running back in Buffalo, I believe that he just has that much more to work with himself and Stephon Diggs just building more chemistry. I think it is extremely possible that Mahomes will be dethroned this year as the best fantasy football quarterback.
Spicy.
Yeah.
And it
Spicy.
didn't even feel
I don't
that
think it's that
spicy
spicy
saying
though,
it.
because wasn't he number 1 last year?
He was.
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers number 1.
No, Rodgers was 2.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I guess he's already been dethroned.
I
and
have.
it's
And,
not
like,
that hot of a take.
Yeah, Mahomes was like 4 last year in terms of like standard like PPR, like unless you're playing like 6-point passing touchdowns. Then I think Rodgers was number 1 because he threw the most passing touchdowns.
No, because we play 6-point passing touchdowns and he was 2.
Maybe you're right. I'll have to do some research. But let's move on to T-God's take.
That's
What do you
number
got?
1. I think.
That's a lie. They just updated it.
I guess they did just update it. Okay, Zach Moss is going to take over the backfield this year. Devin Singletary is going to be having a lot more rest time on the bench.
Ride Pine.
Okay,
Water
so
boy.
last year, Zach Moss had 5 total touchdowns. Singletary only had 2. We gave him plenty of chances to show what he can do, and what he can do is not very much. Last year, Zach Moss played on 45% of the Buffalo Bills snaps. 45%. That's like almost right down the middle. And he had 43% of the runs on the team. So Zach Moss he's getting the work, but I want to see him get the majority of the work, and I think he will this year. And last year he had 11 goal line carries to Singletary 3. He only had 3. So Zach Moss, just get a couple more touchdowns. Just go off and take over the backfield, please.
Definitely in the realm of possibility.
Now, where would you rank Zach Moss within AFC East running backs? Like, I guess you could say Damian Harris, Zach Moss, Gaskin, and
Michael Carter.
I guess it's like
Probably taking
at least number 2.
That's hard. Yeah.
He's
I'm
probably
taking
2.
Gaskin. Over
I'm
him.
taking that's what I was gonna say. I think I'm taking Gaskin, and then I'm taking Zach Moss, and
I put him
then
3. Yeah, I would agree. I think I would put him 3.
Yeah.
I think I put him over Michael Carter, but it's also close between them. Michael Carter's
Yeah,
got
it
some.
is.
My ranks looking at them, I have Zach Moss 33, Michael Carter 38. But I have Gaskin 25. So, and I have Damian Harris 34 actually. So I actually have Zach Moss 1 spot ahead of Damian Harris. So maybe he is number 2.
I like Damian Harris a lot this year.
Yeah, I might. No, I like Zach Moss. I'm taking Zach Moss, number 2.
All right. After further research regarding Q's point prior, Aaron Rodgers was number 1 in 6-point passing touchdown leagues. Josh Allen was number 2. Mahomes was number 3, but also Mahomes did not play in week 17, and Josh Allen did.
Well, Fantasy Pros, I'm not even going to talk bad about him because I'd like some sponsorship, but they have Mahomes. They said he played 17 games.
Yeah, he didn't really do it. He didn't play much in that.
Well, he played the damn game.
He might have started and played like 1 drive or something.
Should have scored. That's why number 4.
Dude, jeez, oh my God, calm down, Q.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Play to win the
Fantasy
game.
points did not change.
They already won enough.
Don't settle.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he did not play in week 17. So
Win them all.
he played 15 games, but either way, doesn't matter. Still a pretty spicy take to put Josh Allen at number 1. Matt, what do you got for us here?
All right. Well, it already happened once before, and that was last year, so it's not too hot. But I believe that Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen will both finish top 3 in the respective positions in fantasy again this year. Josh Allen finished number 2, like we said last year. Stephon Diggs finished number 3. And Diggs had a lot better season than a lot of us expected him to last year. I feel like him and Josh Allen just make each other so much better. So I see them both definitely finishing top 5, but I'll go as far to say top 3 again this year.
Would you say top 2?
I got him
I'll
both
say
ranked
top 3.
Could
Say
Diggs
tie
finish number 1?
You good?
Nope. Because there's someone named DeAndre Hopkins in the league.
If Aaron Rodgers
Don't you have him
isn't
at
on the
4?
Packers,
I have him at 3. All right. I have Diggs. No, I have D-Hop at 2. Tyreek's at 1.
Okay. So you think Diop's going to be number 1? I respect it.
I don't know. If Aaron Rodgers
I have Diop
isn't
at 4.
on the Packers, are you really putting Devontae Adams top 3?
Yeah, I'm putting
Yeah.
Devontae Adams number 1. I have him
Josh-
there until I see Rodgers get traded.
Yeah, well, I'm saying if he's traded or doesn't play, Jordan Love, we don't know if he's
No.
good or bad.
Devontae Adams falls to like around 10 probably.
10? I'd say like 7. 7's a
Jordan
Jordan
safe
Love
number.
from Aaron Rodgers
Bro,
to Jordan Love
yeah,
is
that-
a huge, huge drop, man. I don't know. That's scary. All right, let's wrap up the Bills here. I'll finish this off. Draft the Bills defense. They're playing in this division. They have a solid defense. They get Zach Wilson twice, Cam Newton or Mac Jones twice. They get Tua twice. They get Ryan Fitzmagic. They get Big Ben in Buffalo. They get Trevor Lawrence. They get whoever starts quarterback for the Texans. They get Jameis Winston. They get Carson
Deshaun
Wentz.
Watson.
They get Sam Darnold. So they have a lot of quarterbacks that are going to be playing against that are turnover prone, as well as Pretty easy schedule to start the season. They obviously have a few tough opponents, but give me this defense all day with their schedule. Draft them, start them. I think the first couple weeks they have good matchups, and then hold them on your bench until plug and play them throughout the year.
I like
How
that.
And
is
they're
Josh,
going defense number 8 right now. So it's not like you're reaching.
Yeah, they've always had a solid defense. How is Josh Allen so good his first year in the league when his wide receiver 1 was John Brown and number 2 was Jake Kumaro and his
Oh,
number
Brown's
3
elite.
was Isaiah McKenzie? Who that? I don't think either of them are in the league.
Isaiah McKenzie, I think he's still on the
Yeah, I
Bills.
think he's on the Bills still.
No, they're
Kumaro
relevant.
is also, he was on the Packers, and
Yeah.
I don't know where he's at now. But anyways, I think the division winner is pretty obvious for this one, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
the
taking
Jets.
the Bills.
Jets, Jets.
All right, both of you knock it off right now.
Icky.
All right,
Easy.
I'm
Not
not
the
a
cap.
dummy.
Captors,
It's obviously the Bills.
Who do you think finishes last? Jets or Patriots?
Jets.
Jets.
They
Jets
finished last in the NFL.
Dolphins second, Patriots third.
They were so bad they couldn't even finish last in the NFL.
Yeah.
They got second.
I don't think the Jets are going to be good unless Zach Wilson is like
Was that your joke of the week?
elite.
I thought it was funny.
Joke.
I didn't even hear it.
I got it. It took me a second, but I did get it.
All right, whatever. All right, Q, actually hit us with your real joke of the week after that extra one.
Well, that was the real one. I really didn't have another one. I was hoping that we'd end it on that. What do you call a funny jar of
you.
what do you call a funny jar of mayonnaise? LMAO.
That might be top
That
3.
was good. That was
Hey.
At first, I thought you said funny
LMAO.
Jarv, but I'm always just hearing Jarvis Landry. You know? All right. But I think that's a wrap for us here. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at SuperFB Podcast, on Instagram as well at Super Fantasy Podcast. We're going to have a lot of content coming out on both of those platforms, keeping you up to date with the latest posts, polls, everything on there. Subscribe on YouTube, please. We just hit 50 subs, trying to keep that growing. If you're here
Yes,
on
sir.
Twitch with us live, definitely follow. Drop a sub if you're feeling generous. Helps us support the channel, helps us keep growing. One day we'll be back in a studio together and make this an in-person podcast. But for now,
Yes, sir.
still socially distanced even after COVID. But we're putting out more content regularly, pretty much on all platforms. Check TikTok as well. But next week we will be back with the AFC South. See you
Carson
then.
Wentz.
Peace.